2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Checking. Hello, hello. Is it on? There we go. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Sego, Segoli, Bojo, Ani, Kwekwe, Tanzi. Howdy. Welcome to the great Six Nations of the Grand River Territory. Bojo, Animikwam Nadishnakas, and Shnabe and Dao, Odawa and Dao, Mingan Dodum, Weekwam Kong Natanji. I'm Rick McLean, Professor of Indigenous Studies at Mohawk College, and I have the privilege and honor of being with some amazing Indigenous artists and our amazing students and all of you this afternoon, and I have the honor of starting us off in a good way. So I'd like to light a little bit of medicine and just acknowledge those that we need to acknowledge here. Some sage as to the way that I was instructed to be able to start things off in a good way, so that we're here and we're cleansing our room and we're cleansing our minds. And you know, you guys had a big day already today just to get here, and you probably have a lot of responsibilities afterwards, so our thoughts are all over the place. But with this medicine, I'm just asking you that you would be here and you would be present right now for the medicine that we're going to create all together as a community. So we bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks to our Mother, the Earth. She's a great mother. Everything comes from her. Everything returns to her. There isn't anything that doesn't come from her. There's no life without her. What a great mother, eh? And for those of us that have a good relationship with our mother, and you know, we do nice things for her back, don't we? We don't just wait for Mother's Day. We do nice things. We have a reciprocal relationship. So we need to ask ourselves, what do we do for our Mother, the Earth, then? What do we do to acknowledge that there's no life without her and that everything comes from her? We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for all of those that do the work in our mother and clean her. And you see them now with the rains, those worms and those beetles and things like that, you know, they take all the decaying things and turn it back into good soil. And my granddaughters, they know that there's no life without those worms. And so they'll pick them up off the sidewalk and they'll walk them over to a nice piece of grass where they won't drown and the birds won't get them, because all of that life is sacred, and so we acknowledge them. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the waters. And we have the waters of the great Grand River that are there. We have the waters of all the lakes. We have the waters underneath the ground that are the veins of our mother. And today we have those waters that came from the sky, and we know those thunderbirds are coming back to be able to feed the plant people again, and to be able to quench our thirst, and to be able to wash things away. There's no life without water. And so we need to ask ourselves, what do we do back for the waters then? If we're not going to be just takers, if we're not just transactional, if we're going to be reciprocal with our waters, what do we do for them? We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for all the creatures that do that work in the water, that clean that water. Everything from the microscopic things and the zooplankton to the freshwater shrimp to those minnows to the perch and the pickerel that sometimes end up on our dinner plates. And we say Yahweh, we say Miigwech, for those that sacrifice their life so that we can feed our family. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for all the plant people, those that bring good medicine like this, those that fed us at lunchtime, that salad, you know, they gave their lives too. Our clothes are made out of them. The beautiful colors in the clothes that we wear all come from the plant people. There's almost no pill that the doctor prescribes for you that doesn't come from the plant people. So we're really, really grateful for them. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the four-leggeds. There are teachers and there are feeders. I know I have 2 dogs at home, and you know, they teach me something every day. And if we put our mind together and we understand that we're not the crown of creation, we are just one amongst many in all this natural world. You know, your cats and your dogs, they'll teach you things. And some of them give their lives so that we can eat, you know. You're gonna have that steak, and you're gonna have that hamburger, you're gonna have that pork chop. That came from somebody, right? That came from somebody who gave their life. And in the wild, we have our Wawashkeash at the deer. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the Tree Nations. I love the Tree Nations. They get me excited. They're the bones of all of our buildings. We frame our houses with them. In the wintertime, they give their lives so that we can be warm. We can start a fire. And where I live, I've got apples, peaches, pears, and plums. We have nuts. We have that, and not take that maple water that's running right now. And all the medicines, all the barks. If you ever took an aspirin, that came from the inner bark of the willow tree to be able to take your headache away and your pain. All those trees are so good, and they stop erosion, and they take the pollution out of the air, you know. What do we do for the trees? We need to be able to have a reciprocal relationship with them and love them and take care of them. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the winged nations. You know, they're our messengers, and some of them give their lives too so that we can eat. And whether we have those turkeys and the chickens and all the other things like that. And they teach us songs, and we're going to sing some songs today. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks to our Father, the Son. You know, and I'm taught that he's the role model for the people in my community, you know, because it doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's rainy, whatever it is, he's a good man, and he shows up on time, and he does his duty. And the very next thing that he does is he warms his wife, the Mother Earth. He brings his passion, and he brings his warmth and his love to her. And so every sunrise for me is my mother and father making love, because that's actually where life comes from. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for our grandmother, the moon. She's the eldest of all of them. She's so powerful, she can lift up oceans and put them back down, you know? And she takes care of the faces that are yet to be born. And every 28 days, her face is full, and every 28 days, our women are full in being able to bring forth life. And that's beautiful. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the 4 directions as we enter the spring. And we left the winter, and then there'll be the summer and the fall, and the teachings from all the 4 cardinal directions and all the peoples of the earth who have something very beautiful and important to share with each and every one of us. We bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for each other, and that we're here. I'm told that you're here because you're supposed to be here. It's not an accident that you're here today. And we bring our hearts and minds together as one, and we give thanks for the gift of song, the music, which is medicine. And so with that, I'd like to be able to ask Nicole if she would come and start us with a song.
Tanze, bonjour, sego. Hello, bonjour. My name is Nicole Joy Fraser. I'm also known as Wasamik Benese Kwe, Indigenous cause, Makwe Doda. My Anishinaabe name is Lightning Thunderbird Woman, and I'm Bear Clan. My relations are Treaty 8 territory, Horse Lake First Nation, and Eastern European French on my birth father's side. I'll be sharing a welcome song which translates to, come on in, good grandmothers, come on in, good grandfathers, come on in, welcome all of creation. And it's acknowledging everyone's nations, everyone's ancestry, all walks of life. I wrote this song a few years ago when I was invited to open for the In the Soil Arts Festival in St. Catharines, where I now live. I've been living in Niagara for the last 8 years. Before that, I was in Toronto for a few years, and before that, in England for several years. I also grew up in Mississauga. That's where I was raised by non-Indigenous parents. I'm an emerging hand drum songwriter. Sadie Buck has been on my mind since I was very new into my culture and the scene. I'd heard her name mentioned many, many times, that she was one of our leaders and one of our elders to listen out for. So it's really an honor to be here today to share songs and hear her songs and sing with the women from her community. I'm very grateful to Mohawk College. Rick, thank you for opening up in such a good way. Thank you for these medicines. And the students that I've been working with have been learning this song as well. In my teachings, the ancestors and spirits like to be sung in. So this is one way to acknowledge them and all of us coming together. If you catch the chorus, please join me. This is Bindigin.
Bindigin, where I
I think we're inviting Bob up to the stage now, Mr. Shields.
So, I usually never need a mic because I'm such a loudspeaker, but today they're forcing me to use one, so I'll try to do my best here. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Nicole. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bob Shields. I'm a professor in the Applied Music program at Mohawk College, and I'm the coordinator of this initiative called Musical Sharing. What a wonderful day for us to gather in celebration of Indigenous cultures through music and to contribute positively to community building. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Six Nations community's warm welcome. We are in the Grand River Employment Training Center, and I thank them for working with us in this space again this year. Thanks for everyone from Mohawk College and from all the surrounding communities attending here today. I acknowledge and sincerely appreciate that I'm situated as a guest on Haudenosaunee territory, as recognized and documented by the Tuo Wampum Treaty and the Haldeman Proclamation. I acknowledge that what I call Southern Ontario is home to vibrant and diverse Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. I am grateful and humbled to deliver this land acknowledgement. Grateful because it is one way in which I can contribute meaningfully to reconciliation. Humbled because I recognize that in delivering this land acknowledgement, I'm in a privileged position. So I will do my best to honor this opportunity. To bring this initiative to fruition once again has been the most fulfilling time in my life as a musician and an educator. As a participant, I acknowledge now that there is more than one way of knowing, more than one way to flourish, and that a sustainable world vision is one to which all voices contribute. I affirm that what we are doing here together today matters. Indigenous perspectives have taught me that the social capacity of music must be elevated and celebrated as a responsible act of relational justice. I have learned that music is medicine in a deeper way than I'd ever thought before, that it brings us together with one another and with the natural and spiritual worlds. These things are not peripheral to music, they are music. However, in a hierarchical education system, creative meanings and values are frequently abstracted from their local context, including Indigenous contexts, and supplanted by colonial, settler creative meanings and values. Music research and education, for example, have historically looked for ways to reduce cultural meanings, whether to fit in with Eurocentric definitions of what music should be, to diminish their value, or to appropriate them for profit. As a result, Indigenous non-monetary social means and values are marginalized. This reductionist system, in which I have been complicit, ignores the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and directly contributes to cultural extermination. We know this, and we must take up our responsibility to end it. As an educator, I am now committed to acknowledging ongoing injustices of colonialization and Eurocentrism in learning spaces, including my part in these things. And I want to do my part to help extinguish them. I acknowledge my responsibility to provide equitable space for holistic knowledge, knowledge that is in relationship to self, others, and the natural world. I will continue learning how to localize knowledge, including Indigenous perspectives that are diverse. I affirm that I will provide teaching and learning spaces that are non-hierarchical, that will encourage open engagement and dialogue. I will remain mindful that strength-based reconciliation is an ongoing contextual relational process. So, in acknowledging that I'm bound to the Truro Wampum Treaty, I will always try harder to meet the challenges and opportunities of reconciliation head on. I'll work towards doing better, walking my talk, and putting my knowledge to real work in real places with real people. At this point, what I'd like to do is get on with the show. And to help us do that, I'm going to bring our lovely Kimberly DeJong, third-year journalism student, up on stage. And she is our MC for today's proceedings. She was our MC last year and did such an amazing job that we just had to have her back again. And so, along with your programs and Kimberly's, advice and whatever she's going to say, you'll get through the day perfectly fine, and everything should go smoothly. And of course it won't. Something will happen, but we're going to try our best. And Kimberly's good at fixing things, so that's another reason why she's here. So let's have a hand for Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Bob. I am absolutely honored to be back here again for the second time, and I am more than happy to be your MC for today. So let's get started. First up, we have the Six Nations Women Singers. The Six Nations Women Singers is one of the most influential female Native American singing groups, an arm of the larger organization, the Six Nations Women Singing Society. The group has recorded with Robbie Robertson and performed at the presidential inauguration in 1997. Formed on the Six Nations Reservation in Ohsweken, Ontario, Canada, the group is led by Sadie Buck, a member of the Tonawanda Reservation in New York and who teaches at McMaster University. The group, which includes members of the Haudenosaunee, Onondaga, Algonquin, and Cayuga nations, focuses on the religious and social music as well as dance of the Longhouse tradition. So please, welcome to the stage. We have Sadie Buck, our lead singer, Charlene Bonberry, Pat Hess, Bonnie Freeman, Mary Montour, Darlene Hill, Jan Burning, Judy Harris, Suey Sky, and Teeny Doolittle. Not Terry. Thank you.
My first time talking. Hi everyone, we're the Six Nations Women Singers. We're very thrilled to perform for you tonight, or today, whatever it is right now. And we look forward to any responses, and I'd say requests, but you don't know what we're going to sing, and neither do we.
We name is Sue Isaac. I am Bear Clan Huga. This is Teeny Doolittle, my great niece, and she's in training with the Six Nations Women Singers. So she's been out doing gigs with us, and her first live performance was last week in Toronto. And her grandmother and her other sister was there to sing with us too. So she's doing a great job. I'm proud of her. She's just a bit shy, but she'll get there. Okay, Darlene.
Oh, Darlene Hill. What was the question?
Clan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Turtle Clan. Thank you.
My name is Betsy Buck. I'm from Tonawanda, New York, and fourth line over here. I'm Seneca Turtle Clan.
Judy Harris, from Six Nations here. I'm Cayuga Wolf. I'm Pat Hess, and I'm from Six Nations, and I'm from, I am Cayuga Wolf. Third line. Smooth town.
Tanya Dale Hill, Mohawk Turtle Clan.
Bonnie Freeman, Algonquin, and Mohawk, Bear Clan, and from Six Nations.
Mary Montour, I am Mohawk Turtle, and I'm from down below, they call it, Sixth Line. is the one that composed that one.
Tell the story, Jude. Oh, well, now it's 23 years ago. I had a granddaughter, and I was singing to her one day, and this song came up. What does it say? And it says she's dancing around or jumping around, and give to me, my darling. That song says, I'm just going to leave you in suspense.
And we always tried to figure it out.
Most of those, what we're singing right now are called Askanate songs. And most of these ones here that we just sang, except for the Judy's, were written by my dad. And one was written by Ditto. She's not here today, but she is one of our second lead singers. And she wrote that song that says we like to sing Escanier, because these songs are called Escanier songs. And for Haudenosaunee people, all of our music is written for dancing. So every song has a dance to it. And so these are Escanier songs, and that's women's dance. So as Haudenosaunee people, we follow our mother's side. And so we have 3 songs that are Escanier songs, 3 women's dance songs. This is one of them. And then we have an older version. And then we have a song where the women are dancing Escanier and the men are dancing with them. It's a faster song. But we have three types of songs. And the songs, when you sing them, that's honoring the women and what women provide on this earth. So that's what those songs. So these songs, these are called new women's shuffle dance songs and new Escanier songs. And these ones here that we're making, you can make them up anytime. You can put things in there like Old MacDonald, or you can put things in there like, we like to sing Escanier, that kind of stuff you can put to these songs. And we have what's called a sing, and we have it twice a year now. We used to have it 4 times a year, but we only do it twice now a year. And actually, it's this weekend on Saturday at the community hall over here, wherever we are, over here. And and what the sing is all the singing societies, because the singing societies are a benevolent society. So what we do as singing societies is we raise money to help people out in the community when some calamity has happened. So this group here, which is the Six Nations Women Singers, we're arm's length of the Six Nations Women Singing Society. So when we perform as a group, wherever we perform, the fee that we charge goes back, is donated to the Six Nations Women Singing Society, and then the Singing Society donates it back to the community. So when we perform, this group, like we performed in Toronto last Monday, we performed in Toronto. So, and they pay us a fee, and we charge a fee. We're very adamant about that. And then that fee goes back to the Six Nations, to the Singing Society, and then that gets donated out. So the people that perform, if you ever see us performing, we don't receive any pay for performing. The Singing Society receives the pay, and then it goes back to the Six Nations Women Singers receive the pay, and then that goes to the Singing Society, which then goes back to the community. And we've been doing this, well, me and the 2 others that aren't here today, Jan Burning and Charlene Bomberry, we've been singing together since we were probably 8, 9 years old. So we've been singing together a long time, probably 60 years now. And so we've been doing this. Our parents did it, our grandparents did it, our parents did it, and now we're doing it, and now we've got, here at Six Nations, we're lucky. First of all, we have a huge population here. So we have other singing societies in the community that also do this same work. So, and it's our job to raise money to help people out. If somebody gets burnt out, if somebody gets sick for a long time, whatever the calamity is, we always donate to that. Or a death, if there's a death. When we got money, then that's what we do. And sometimes it is that we don't have money because we don't have a performance, because this group raises, that's how we raise our money. But we also make quilts, raffle. We also have fundraiser breakfasts and suppers and that kind of stuff. So we do all of that to raise that dollars to be able to donate to the community. So we've been doing it a long time. We were raised in it, and so we continue to do it, and it's important work. And what we get out of it personally, on a personal level, is it's a whole lot of laughs. Because I got stories about all of them. And at the most embarrassing times, that's when I tell them. So if you ask me later, say, well, point to one of them and I'll tell you. funny was they made these bottles flimsier. I can't even get that to my mouth. My hands are no good. So this is a water drum. Ignore that woman going down the You know, like in the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I'm very affected by, I'm in the entertainment industry, so all those things, I'm like,
We had TV a long time at our house too.
Yeah, our first TV, when the electricity first came here, our first TV screen was like about yay big. And we used to all sit there.
And
the
we used to have everybody in the
console part-
neighborhood used to come and watch coffee.
Yeah, all the great big thing, it was like huge, but the screen was so big. And there would be like, 10 of us sitting around there looking at that thing. But we had TV, we had electricity. And that was a big thing a long time ago.
And it's just a coincidence that the three of us had to sit down while we were singing.
Yeah.
We're getting old, but she'll be the only one standing pretty soon.
So this drum here, this is it's called a water drum. And my son, he's in here, is he?
No.
He was supposed to fix it before I left because it's flat, it's kind of flat. But because you got to pull down on this, and then you got to push this ring down and stuff like that, so it's very difficult to operate. It's not too bad. It was flattered that one day when we were at Mohawk. It was very flat that day. But how it works is with the water. It works with the water in the drum and the water in the air, and then your voice as the lead singer. So you see, it's flat, and it's flatter than it should be. What you want when you're a singer is, because our music is all for dancing, then you really want a higher ping to the drum hit, because that carries further, and the water in the room is what carries the sound. So you want that to happen so that all the dancers stay on beat. So sometimes if your drum is too low, it's not, and you have all those feet moving around in the room, then sometimes you lose the singers and then the dancers, because their feet get too loud for the drum. So you have to have a higher pitched drum than this one is. I wanted to use that drum kit, but they said no. But can you see me having one of those great big drums? I don't think that would work so well. No. It's very hard to tighten it now. We tried a while ago, me and I don't know who. Oh, my drum tightener there. He's had,
Your roadie?
yeah, my rodeo. He's had 2 years. He was here last year, so he knows all about it. But it's very hard because you have to pull it opposite each other. Then you have, at the same time, you have to push this ring down because you want your hide stretched even all the way across. So it's hard to do, and I can't do it anymore because my hands aren't good enough. They're not strong enough anymore. I used to be able to do it. So it's hard because it's gotta be balanced really, really fine. And so it's a difficult thing to do. And my son was supposed to do it before we left, and he didn't. So he's not back here, is he?
No.
You would see him. He's
Big.
6'6", my son. So that's why I'm trying not to say anything too loud. It stays in this room. He's usually really good, but he doesn't know that. And don't tell him he doesn't know. He might show up. I don't know. I told him there was food. Who's double ending? I had to work my armpit. It wasn't a double ending, my armpit working. It's just. That's gotta go left-handed now. So these songs are old. These songs here, like Judy said, that I think that's the youngest song we sang tonight was what, 23 years. Because we've been singing together for such a long time, and we, long time ago when we were little and the sings used to happen, we used to sing 2 sets. So that's 14 songs. And then we used to sing 4 times a year. So I'm at the sing. So I don't know if there's any math people here, but if you figure that out and go over the years and then figure out how many songs, new songs we would have sang every year. So these are made up, and so we do this every year, and so these are the newest, are the oldest songs. I mean, there's really older ones too. Like my dad, one time, I don't know, we have a lot of, at my house, we have a parade of all the ologists come through my house. All of them, for whatever reason. And I mean whatever reason, because my dad and my grandfather and my aunts and my uncles, they were all longhouse people that performed ceremonies. So we had every ologist, sociologist, psychologist, ethnomusicologist, archaeologist, all the ologists. Endocrinologist, I don't know about them. But anyways, so what would happen, one of those ethnomusicologists one time said to my dad, they said, how many songs do you know? And my dad said, well, I don't know all the songs that I know. I know all the songs that my father knew. I knew all the songs that my grandfather knew. And I know all the songs that they're singing now. That's how many I know. So, the ethnomusicologist told me afterward, he said, I was blown away that your dad didn't give me a number. And I said, well, how do you figure that out? For one thing. But that's true. It's absolutely true, the songs that my dad knew. So for me, then I know the songs that I know, which are thousands. I actually put a number to it. It's thousands. And then I know all the songs my dad knows. I knew all the songs my grandfather knew. I know all the songs my brother knows. I know all the songs my other cousin, my nephews who lead sing. I know all their songs. So in that way, I know a lot of songs too. So the thing about singing here, which is kind of okay, because I sing whatever I feel like singing at that moment. We do not have a set. We sing whatever. So it's not really my goal in life, but sometimes I sing a song, I try to sing a song that they don't know.
And when she does that, you'll see our faces go. Between us all.
But, they get it. So I'm trying to trick them, and they can't be tricked. Because that's the thing about singing. Because we've been singing so long that you learn how to pick it up. You learn how to pick it up quickly. Your ear gets trained and your voice gets trained, your throat gets trained. And we have all the signals are in the drum for what you're going to sing. All the signals are in the drum. So when we're in the song, we're going like this, that's called Ganaske song. And that's to straighten the song out. But it's all for the dancers, it's the signal that they can show off a little bit. They can have a little fancy step in there for the women in that Escanier song. So when we're going like this in those songs, that's where you really show your stuff when you're dancing around and you're happy. And you're thankful for, first of all, for all of the things that the Creator has provided, but also you're thankful because they're singing for you and it's a women's dance song. So there's all kinds of little things in the drum signals that happen. And if you're not paying attention, you can miss them. And then I look at you, and then you never do it again. At least that's my opinion. But me, when I do that, I just laugh. We were performing I was performing in Wisconsin, some way back off in the bush. We were doing a songwriters retreat, and so I was way back in there, and I helped them make up this song, and it was 3, 6, 9. I didn't make up the song, but I got them started on it. And so I wrote 3, 6, 9, the goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco, I was singing away. And so then they start playing off of it, and we made up a song. It's on a CD, but we made up a song. All these people from all over Wisconsin, Ontario. And when we got to the performance, so we're on a stage in front of probably 250, 300 people. And I had to start the song. So I'm not paying attention because I don't. And all of a sudden I started singing that song, but I sang it way faster than we rehearsed it. And I could see all of them, they were going like, because they're on guitars and drums and keyboards. And I was singing, and then finally one of them guys goes, too fast. And I said, oh, okay. So then I looked at the audience and I went, they're not getting it. So then I had to slow down and sing, and then they could get it. But I would have went with it, as I was. But I did have to have a little bit of consideration for the other people. But I had a good laugh, and that's all that mattered to me.
And that's a new one.
We didn't get it.
See?
But neither did any of you.
Like a laughing song.
Oh, there is a laughing song. Yeah. Ha ha hee hee ho ho hi na hoo wee. There is a laughing song. It was, I think it's from Cattaraugus.
I only ever remember your daddy singing.
I think they made it up in Cattaraugus Reservation. But anyways, so I didn't mean to do that, but I did. See, I can hold that bottle with two hands and not with one. And what is with that? Why are they making the bottle so squishy? Well, I get a hold of it, probably nobody else, but because my hands don't work, I have to hold on to it really tight, and then the water comes flowing. Then it's all over me, and then I'm like,
And I know how to hear the story again about the water bottle.
yeah, and then I have to explain the water bottle. So people don't think I'm just old.
And wet.
So this next song, so that was women's dance songs, and that's what we sing all the time. And there's thousands, well, we know probably thousands of them. And a lot of them are meant to be, they talk about social situations, like there's a song about cigarettes and because we have a lot of cigarette stores on the reserve. Now it's cannabis, so I'm sure at the next thing there'll be something about cannabis. So all of these issues in the community end up somehow in the Eskaniak song. And it's a good way to bring them out, point them out, and make people aware that these things are happening, because then you can't avoid it if it's in a song. And so there's lots of things. There's these funny songs like we sing here. We sing like my dad made up a lot of songs that were, and my mom too. My mom made up a song about the guy that fell off. What's his name? Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, he fell off the wall. Him, Humpty Dumpty. So my mom made that up. So a lot of these songs, like during the war, you'll hear songs about what do you call those boats? UT boats or PTU boats or something. Some kind of boats they have that are in the water for fighting. There's songs about that. There's songs about different things, all different issues that happen, and these are made up in these songs because these are I don't know, modern or contemporary to the time. So then when we sing it, and then when we sing Humpty Dumpty, that's still what's it called, to the time, but everybody knows who Humpty Dumpty is, even though I forgot. Everybody knows who Humpty Dumpty is because you sing it to your kids. So like that's what these songs do. But this next song, it's it is a we were very, very warrior people, very, very powerful nations at one point in terms of fighting. And when we got the Great Law of Peace, then we stopped that. So we had all of these war songs that were just kind of there and not doing anything because we stopped. So we had this song is an old war dance song that, because we had different kinds of war dance songs too. But this one, because we stopped doing that, we took the context away from it. And so now all the songs in that set are all just melodies, but they're all very powerful because they were war songs at one point. So they're all very powerful songs. And so this song here we call it, it's been renamed, it's called the Dawn Song. And the Senecas in New York State, they said, well, we don't want to lose the songs. Even though we lost the context, we don't want to lose the songs. So we're going to keep singing these songs. And this one they renamed and they called it the Dawn Song, this song here. It's one of the things as Haudenosaunee people that we learned long time ago is because for Haudenosaunee people we don't clap. We don't clap. So a long time ago, if you were doing something and you did something good, then nobody would clap. They'd just go. So it's kind of funny to hear everybody clapping nowadays because when I grew up, that's what they used to do. But if you see them now, and then when there was a good Eskanye song when they were singing, then you would hear that, you'd go, woo, like that. So nobody would clap, but you'd hear this noise. And then you knew that it was a good song that somebody made up. I'm telling the truth. I am. So that, we're going to do this, when we worked with the students at Mohawk, last year and this year, we we did a call and response song. And we have, as Haudenosaunee people, we have a bunch of them. We have a bunch of different songs that we sing. But this one that we worked with the students on is call and response, but it's called Unity Stomp. So we're going to just sing one song now, and I think because we're hogging the stage here, and which is, I talk lots, but don't tell anybody that I said that. So we're going to show you an example of where one of the songs that we get this from. There's other songs that are part of it, but I use the Unity Stomp because its title is Unity, for one thing. But it's unity in that in the 60s we used to have a caravan that went around, and it was called the Unity Caravan. And it went from Indigenous community, Aboriginal community, all over North America. It traveled around. And the songs, because all the people were different, they were all Indigenous, Aboriginal, First Nations, whatever you want to call them. They found out when they went to a community, we all had the same ideas of music and dance. And we wanted to dance together and sing together right away. So the leaders, there was a bunch of lead singers on this Unity Caravan, so they put together the whole set, and we only sing a couple of them now, but well, Six Nations Women Singers only sing a couple of them, But we have, there's like maybe 30 songs altogether total in the set. And what they would do is the lead singers would then sing these songs every time they got to a community at the first social night, and then everybody could sing and dance together. Because it's easy dancing, it's easy singing. So, and it could bring unity right away. It could bring everybody together right away. So that's why we use it, that's why I use it whenever I teach music like this, and start out with a call and response song, because they are easy. And they're from all over the world. All over the world we have call and response songs in all different people's music repertoires. There's all different kinds of call and response songs all over the world. So in that way also it's a unifying device. So these songs that we're going to sing now are just a sample of that unity stomp, and it's just a sample of what we work with with the students from Mohawk College. Six Nations Women Singers. an hour to get down the stairs. Give Grandma one. No, I do. I don't have to do it on my own.
Thank you so much to our Six Nations women singers. All right, up next we have Nicole Joy Fraser, who is of mixed settler Zadane Nahea Métis ancestry of Horse Lake First Nation in Alberta. She began formal vocal training at the age of 10 in Mississauga and eventually found her love for choral music as a teenager, singing second alto in the Toronto Medelson Youth Choir, touring Italy, recording John Ritter's The Magic of Christmas album for CBC, and became a featured concert soloist and Broadway spectacular at the Roy Thompson Hall. Nicole made her professional debut as a top soprano for the National Det Chorale while completing her musical theater diploma at Toronto's Randolph Academy. Less than a year later, she was cast in the original Toronto cast of Mamma Mia, which followed with a US tour and inspired her to pack her bags and travel to the UK. Very good, interesting. I'm just changing your history. Sorry about that.
No, it's been on the download.
Very good. She made her West End debut in the multi-award-winning Jerry Springer The Opera, settling in London for a few years, touring the UK, and hitting Athens, Greece with Disney's Beauty and the Beast before she moved back to Turtle Island to look for her roots. Being an adoptee and a 60s scoop witness raised by a non-Indigenous family, Nicole yearned to connect to Indigenous storytelling and is grateful to the Toronto urban Indigenous community, Native Earth Performing Arts, Red Sky Performance, and Unsettled Scores for helping her reclaim her identity through various world premieres, workshops, and roles in both Native theater and opera. Nicole was awarded the Celebration of Nations Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Performing Arts in 2020 and is a proud Bear Clan member and helper. She looks forward to promoting and sharing Indigenous ways of knowing in her home base, Niagara, and beyond. She has only recently been birthing her own hand drum songs and is grateful for her family and the healers, elders, and Niagara community that have been guiding her on this beautiful path. Please welcome Nicole.
Get this situated. Oh no! Haha. There we go.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, wow. I feel my soul is just, and my spirit's just so nourished from everything that was just shared by the women. One of the songs I recognize, one of the first songs I heard when I was invited to work with Native Earth Performing Arts, we worked on a play written by Marie Clements called Tombs of the Vanishing Indian, which was addressing the sterilization of Native women and the unfortunate policies that were held by the government throughout the 60s and 70s. And a very difficult play to investigate and portray. But we had the amazing Jennifer Kreisberg as our sound designer, and she shared one of those songs, the last one that you did there, Sadie. I was like, whoa, that's one of the first songs that ever got shared with me, and because I didn't know how to sing like any sort of Indigenous cultural song. I had heard Eulalie perform, I'd heard Purify. So hearing that brought back a lot of memories of that time when I was really learning, you know, what does it mean to be an Indigenous singer, and you know, what is our language, where do we place ourselves, how do we learn, and am I worthy of learning? That was like a big difficult thing for me when I first started my journey. Am I worthy? Can you believe that? That's just, that for me, I realized was this unfortunate shame that I was carrying with my mixed identity and not knowing and feeling, oh, I didn't know, which I try to remember when I'm sharing something new to people. And I remember, you know, I live in kind of both worlds. That's what I was sharing with the students. I feel like I have my settler self, and then there's my ceremony, Anishinaabe knowing, Indigenous ways of knowing self. So I kind of feel like I live in two worlds, but that reminded me of that journey with music and the medicine and the healing and the reclamation, and what a gift it is to learn through the songs and through the sharing. And people like Jennifer Kreisberg and Jenny Lauzon is also a mentor of mine who I would hear sing, and Sherry Miracle as well, who's from here. I would buy their CDs and just listen and hear what they were doing. And Michelle St. John is another performer that I grew up watching on TV first. And it was the first time I thought I saw someone who looked like me on television when I was about 10. And when I got to work with her on that very play, Tombs of the Vanishing Indian, I remember her trying to explain to me how to sing and how, not to hurt your voice. And it's a little bit like yelling, but carefully, and it's a bit of a call to it. And so when I started feeling more comfortable singing in that way, and just gaining confidence to feel the vibration in my body, this is a different feeling from my classical training, which was bel canto Italian, and learning Schubert and Mendelssohn and all those classics, and I sort of had to recalibrate. But then there was such a freedom, and it felt more like authentic, and I didn't have to worry. I felt like I didn't have to worry about what exactly I was doing. And I know the students and I have shared that too, that now in sharing my songs that I'm birthing, and I'm learning how to just listen to the land, and the land tells me the melody or shares with me the melody, or a bird will share something. And I spend a lot of time along the waterways in Niagara when I go hiking. And so if I have my sema, even if I don't have my tobacco with me, I try to listen, and sometimes these songs will just pop up. And this song I'm about to share came to me after many walks along the Niagara River. And I was coming out of a time, as we all were during the lockdown, when things were feeling really insecure and fearful, and there was just this sense of not knowing. And every time I looked at the river and I was watching the water, it was reminding me, well, this is still here. This is real life. And that, that beautiful water spirit was reminding me that there's always going to be a calm and to trust. So this melody started filtering through, and I eventually wrote this song, and it's called my Song of Hope. And hope as a noun. So hope in the sense of something that we trust in. Hope as in faith. So I know sometimes we say, oh, I really hope that happens, which is a verb, right? So there's still some insecurity there. There's still a bit of worry almost. But when we think of it, hope as no, it's I trust in it. It's like I trust in it, I have faith, and I trust in Creator and how this is going to happen. So that's the intention of this song, and for me, what the song was teaching me. And so when I share it, that's what I'm wishing for you, that you trust in your journey, you trust in your process, and remembering that the water and Mother Earth is always here to hold us in wherever we're at in our lives. So this is my Song of Hope.
Way, oh,
professional operation here, folks. Good there?
Very good. Can you all hear me okay? Yes, very good. Looks like it. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so next up, we have the Mohawk Music Sharing Ensemble. And over the course of this winter 2023 semester, an ensemble of applied music students has been collaborating with the Six Nations women singers and Nicole Joy Fraser through music and dance and storytelling. And what has emerged within this creative spaces is the result of a present-focused relational process, one built on trust, openness, and mutual respect. Today, the ensemble will share some of what has emerged throughout the music performances and talking circle participation. Please welcome to the stage Sky Jones, Josh Reed, Deanna Herrera, Sebastian Puerto, Remy Kina, and Chris Cabobianco.
Hello. There we go. Hello. We're really excited to be here. We're Bob's ensemble. We're gonna play a couple jazz tunes to start that we've been working on throughout the semester. We're gonna play "You Go to My Head" and "Peace." So we'll start with "You Go to My Head."
This never will be. You go to my head with a smile that makes my temperature rise, like a summer with 1,000 Julys. You encapsulate my soul with your eyes. I'm certain that this heart of mine hasn't a ghost of a chance in this crazy romance. You go to my head. You go to my head with a smile that makes my temperature rise, like a summer with a thing that this heart of mine hasn't a ghost of a chance in this crazy romance. You go to my head, you go to my head, you go to my head. There's a place that I know where the sycamores grow and the daffodils have their fun, where the cares of the day seem to slowly fade away in this glow of the evening sun. Peace when the day is done. If I go real late, let my mind meditate on everything need be done. If I search deep inside, let my conscience be my guide, then the answers are sure to come. Don't have to worry none. its true meaning comes to you, and the answers are sure to come. Peace is for everyone. Peace is for everyone. Peace is for everyone. Peace is for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our musical ensemble. We will now have a 10-minute intermission, and I am told to let everybody know that there are some light refreshments in room 103 that we are encouraged to
Scarf down.
Yes. Whew, you're gonna be the highlight of my day. Thank you. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Hello, and welcome back. Nice to see all your faces. Again, it's been forever. The following collaborative performances demonstrate what can be achieved through musical collaboration. So we are going to be hearing from our wonderful musical ensemble, and they will be doing a session with the Six Nations Women Singers, as well as Nicole Joy Fraser, before everybody comes together. So may I please welcome back up to the stage the musical ensemble and the Six Nations Women Singers. Thank you kindly.
Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run with the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Feet to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run with the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run like the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run with the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run with the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Seats to the ground and ground to the feet. Feet to run and run with the wind. Feet to run and run with the wind. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Wind to breathe and breath to live. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Live to grow and grow like a seed. Ha! Whee!
That was good.
Okay, so this was a song that we worked on during the semester, and believe it or not, it was not easy just to like come here and put some lyrics together and sing and call and response. It's a whole process. Like what we all saw from the Six Nation Women Singers, it's like a lot behind just the performance, right? And with Sadie and everything, we went to what is to be like the lead singer. So like we were all trying out, and like we were dancing as well and leading, you know, the people behind us dancing, and it was a great experience. So this is just the culmination of it, and well, we are very proud to be performing for you. So thank you so much.
I'm now also going to welcome Nicole Joy Fraser up to the stage.
Cozy. That's okay. Get cozy now. So, we want to get situated for our next piece, which I'll speak about. So this song is one of my original songs one of the first songs I ever wrote. It's probably the second one ever. Probably around 2010, when I was living in Toronto, and I signed up to be a client upon recommendation of some friends of mine who knew about my journey and my quest. And they said, you should go talk to an elder. And they have elders and medicine people at Anishinaabe Health Toronto. And so I went to find out what it was about. And I didn't know anything. I knew how to smudge, and that was pretty much it. So they informed me, you know, before I go speak to this medicine person, make sure not to have any alcohol, and you know, no drugs, no alcohol for 4 days beforehand. And I was like, oh, okay. Huh, I've never really done that before. I've been in the entertainment industry. It's, you know, it's something that we always did after we would party and stuff, right? So it was a conscious thing for me to do that and abstain. And then the first elder I saw was Geraldine Stand-Up, who's a Mohawk medicine woman from Ganawage. Maybe some people know who that is. And you know, trying to explain my journey, she was just like, you're just at the beginning. And then the next elder I went and saw was an Anishinaabe elder who told me that I had a helper, a bear helper, and that I was Bear Clan. And I was going to find out what that meant, to become, to understand what it means to be Bear Clan, and learning about the medicines and what it meant as, you know, in my role as a community member. And then after that, I became very involved with the traditional programming at Anishinaabe Health, and started hearing more songs in all the ceremonies that I was attending and the sweat lodge. So I eventually became a contract worker there. I worked with the diabetes research team, and we were conducting surveys with the clients to find out how the traditional programming was helping their journey and helping them manage their diabetes and their health. And one of the initiatives at the end, compiling all that information, compiling the talking circles and the healing circles that we had, we did a feast, and we prayed to the ancestors and thanked those helpers for helping us with the project to find those answers out, to find out, you know, what does our community need, and how are we keeping well? How do we manage diabetes, and I didn't know anything about diabetes before that. And so the project was called Ode Zokan Mikan Asi, which translates from Anishinaabe Moan into listen to the stories on the path. And that was a message we got for the project, but it was also, I realized, the overarching message for what the initiative was, and listening to all these clients and hearing their testimonies, and how they kept, a lot of the clients were saying, it's the music, it's the circles, it's the coming together and sharing, it's hearing the language, it's having access to the medicines and the laughter and the humor and sharing that. That's what's helping me cope with this disease. So one of the beautiful things out of that project and feasting, I slept that night, and I'm a pipe carrier, and I lifted my pipe and I thanked the ancestors and said, if there's anything else that we can give from this project, you know, let me know. And in the morning, this song came, the next morning. And I shared it with the team, and we shared it with the clients. So this is a song that I taught to the group. And I think it's also a great message for this whole initiative that we were all listening and sharing, and even for today. And yeah, we'll give it a go. don't know if anybody recognized a little shout out to the classical world there. We had that was my father's favorite symphonic piece. What do you call that? Symphony? No, orchestral piece. Sorry, I'm lost for words. Which is called Bolero. If anyone recognized that.
Ravel's Bolero.
Yes, Ravel, sorry, composition. Yes, that was my dad's favorite. So that filtered in when we were jamming one of the sessions, and we were like, hey, it's the same keys. And I was like, oh my God, my dad is in the room for sure. So it's pretty awesome. He passed away when I was 19. So he was a big musical influence for me and introduced me to the classics and Pavarotti and Maria Callas and, the opera singers. So. Oh, that was loud. The next piece that we worked on is by my new friend, Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson has got a documentary, an award-winning documentary just been released called Beautiful Scars. He's also an accomplished visual artist, painter. And Beautiful Scars is now being made into a musical, which is going to be presented next year by Theatre Aquarius. So I had the amazing honor of collaborating in a workshop where we got together with Tom, some actors, myself, musical director at Theatre Aquarius at the beginning of this year. And I was introduced to this piece, Blue Moon Drive, and I just thought the groove was awesome. And knowing that the students work on rock and roll and jazz, I just thought this is a kind of a bluesy thing. And I really fell in love with the vocals. And the thing with workshopping pieces and stories, you can't always be guaranteed that you'll get the job like when they do the production. So I was like, this is my chance if I'm ever gonna sing it, because I might not do the gig. So I'm really glad the students were okay with learning it. And yeah, this is called Blue Moon Drive by Tom Wilson.
Every stranger has a home, like a ghost in a passing chrome. Ran once, but I ran too slow, so right back the suitcase goes. Lay your big feet down, hang your sins on a thorny crown. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive.
I saw an angel on the silent road, keep the faith and tow the load. The road is long, but the coast is far. It's hanging under the western star. Lay your darkness down, hang your sins on a thorny crown. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive.
Remy Kina.
Woo!
Carmen Bianco. Hey Jim, where's your ride? Where'd you finally run and hide? Your motels and your girls are old. The night is long, but the storm is cold. Lay your sickness down. Hang your sins on a thorny crown. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive. Yeah, yeah, dead or alive, every night we take that blue moon drive.
Wow. Oh, we're real nice. I would like to also please welcome up to the stage the Six Nations Women Singers once again, so we can all hear everybody collaborate together. Please give them a big hand.
So as they make their way up, I'll just share this little story about this song we're about to do together. We've never done it together before. First time, premiere for all of you audience members. One time only. This is a pretty famous hand drum song that has made its way around Turtle Island. And is, from what I understood when it was shared with me, and which I confirmed today from the Sadie Buck, this song came out of a collaboration that was happening at the Banff Center for the Arts back in the day. Was that in the 90s, Sadie? It's probably sometime in the 90s. And it was an Indigenous music summit and women's summit, Indigenous women's singers. Aboriginal, that's how it was called, Aboriginal Women's Singers Group. Voices, forgive me. That was the program. And they recorded it, and this CD made its way around Turtle Island. So I heard it. It was shared with me in Toronto with the group of nurses and doctors and workers at Anishinaabe Health. We would come together at lunchtime and share all these hand drum songs. So they were like, you got to know the traveling song. So this is how I learned it. And then I made my way to Niagara, and they sang it there too. And they sing it out on the West Coast, and it's because that CD must have been shared. And they probably shared it down in the States. And so when we were trying to figure out what song we should do together, it was pretty easy to go, hey, wait a second, there's that traveling song. And we sing this song at gatherings when we're sending people off. You know, we're wrapping up the gathering, we're sending the spirits home, we're thanking our grandmothers and grandfathers and helpers for being with us for that nice time to be together, and sort of closing the circle, so to speak. And it's also what was shared with me is when I'm singing it, I'm sending everybody home in a good way, that they make their way home safely and in good mind and body and spirit. So I'm going to start it off, and hopefully some people will jump in with the lead. The students have learned it as well. So this is a traveling song.
Oh
I neglected to mention that song, Sadie was one of the original writers of the song. That's why I turned to her to say, was that in the 90s? So I actually forgot to let you all know she was there and helped write that song, collaborated with Jenny Lauzon and many other esteemed singer-songwriters. Jennifer Kreisberg was there too, and so it's pretty awesome to be able to sing that all together. Yeah. Miigwech, everybody. Do we have our MC joining us now, or
What we're
here we
actually
go.
going to do
Here we go.
is, our performances are done, but we want to do a talking circle with our performers and with the audience too, if you guys want to stick around. So we'll just get everybody get settled a little bit, and we'll let you know kind of how that works. We want to know what we can learn from each other. What's that?
Oh, a group photo.
Oh.
Group photo.
Oh, get back up there.
Hold up before you go. Back on stage.
Sorry.
Always late. Yeah.
Bob, get up there.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Yes. Yes, please. Well done. Well done. Awesome. Here.
That's so sweet.
Chairs back there for the ladies. Do we need it? You guys don't want to share? Not for the photo when we're going to sit down and chat, though. Keep those chairs handy, guys. All right.
Are these chairs have to go.
Those chairs need to come back.
Okay, everybody else in me.
No, it's all good.
Yay, it lives. Okay, we got a good song, huh? Okay.
Also, gonna just grab one. I'm gonna grab a couple. Phone. Sorry, just got a phone, camera, cute, and then this phone. But everybody smile. Oh wow, wonderful faces. You look so wonderful. Oh, gorgeous.
All right. Chairs back.
Okay. Put those chairs back now.
Get these chairs back, you guys.
Can you turn off these lights?
We can turn off those lights.
Yeah.
They're hot. We don't like it. Yeah, scoot in. Bob, where are the pot lights?
Where's the lighting guy? Stand up so you come out like you really want to be there. I keep want to bring you a sore spot or you.
No.
Keep that door open.
So for those that don't know, just in case, there's 1,000 ways to do this, and if you know a different way, then you too are correct. Is how I've been taught to introduce anything whenever it's like this, but So we'll just kind of ask if you had anything to share, if anything stays with you, if you had any words of wisdom for us. And you don't have to say anything. You can just say Yahweh and pass the feather on to somebody else. So there's no forced, you don't have to say anything. Some of the other rules are we don't get to interrupt anybody else, and we don't get to criticize what anybody else says. And of course, we're all being respectful that our ancestors are still here. So we will get it started, and we'll just pass. Oh, you know what? It's got to go counterclockwise. That's right. I got to do this properly on the territory. So we're going to start with you. All right, and just anything that you feel like you want to share.
Oh my gosh, there's so much that I know that I have so little time, so we go.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, just like thank you for welcoming me in this, and I've had so much fun just like coming and listening to everybody and the sessions and the like so much like laughter and also a lot of like vulnerability, which I really appreciate. I like have the pleasure of learning so much about just music in general and how it plays a role in Indigenous culture. So I appreciate you having me here, and I was so excited for today, and it turned out so lovely. Everyone sounded amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Want a drum roll, Pat?
My name is Pat Hess, and I just wanted to thank everybody who participated. The students, I thought, did a really great job. I enjoyed hearing you doing your own music too with your instruments that you have. Like we didn't get a chance to hear that. Just today is our first day hearing you. So I thought you all did a very good job. I appreciate it, and wish you well in all your future endeavors. And for everybody else, thank you so much for bringing this all together. We really enjoyed getting together, and like you said, we like laughing, we like eating. We made sure we had both of those. So, Yahweh.
I'm Mary Montour. At the very beginning of this journey, I had mentioned that we're going to come far together, and to see where we started from and to see where we're ending up as a whole bunch of people on a stage, but we're no longer strangers. We've all become friends and family. So I thank you for that. It was really great to hear all the pieces come together. We hadn't had a chance to hear your music, so. And talk about vulnerability. We had never had our own little voices sing separately. So that was a first for most of us too, because Sadie's always led the group and then we join in. So to focus on our own vocal part of it, we got through it, put it that way. So that was an amazing journey in itself. So yeah.
Can you hold it for me? Sure. I'm Nicole Joy Fraser, Wasnik Benese Koi Indigenous Makwandoda. I am just so grateful, just feeling very grateful. It's been such a fulfilling, rich, rewarding, nourishing experience. And I hope that all the amazing ways that I've been what's the word? I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just really grateful to be given this opportunity, and humbled to be a part of this and to be asked to collaborate and be here and exist in the way that I know. It's really special, and it's very validating, and it's very it makes sense now. You know, the journey hasn't been easy for me, and finding my own voice and my identity, and you know, what do I do, who do I go to. I'm so grateful because you end up reflecting on how things happen, and it's just given me the opportunity to share and feel like I have something I can give back.
and the students holding space for me has been really, really special. And so I'm sort of bittersweet because this is it. But just know that I'm sending my hearts and my prayers as you continue on your journey, and it's meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to me. And hearing all these elders speak today and share, I've learned a lot about community and remembering, those teachings of kindness and laughter and joking, and just like how I would imagine my aunties when they come together too, even though I didn't get to hang out with them. It's really nice, really beautiful what you have here as women, and to be a part of this community and welcomed. And I was really grateful to hear the students play their stuff and sing, and I hope you all continue with your gifts. And thank you so much. And thanks to Bob and Rick and everyone at Mohawk. Sorry, I'm very emotional. I'm on my moon time as well, so that's why she's holding the feather. And there's a full moon tomorrow, so it's all channeling through. Oh my goodness, so thanks.
I'd like to say now to everyone involved, and I'm glad I was able to participate. And also, that was my first solo too. And I would say,
Hey, what?
My name is Remy, and first off, I'd like to thank everyone for being a part of this. It's been a great experience for me. It's certainly got me out of my comfort zone quite a bit as well. You asked me before this, if I were to, sing in front of a group that really, not really know myself as a singer. So that's really been a great learning experience for me. Something I'll definitely, take forward. And aside from that, also just, being able to, talk and then play with you guys, it's been a great experience. And, thank you for having me involved with this.
Tanya Dale Hill. It was a very good day today, and I'm very glad to spend time with new and old. And yeah.
Well, can't believe it's been a year. It seems a year ago. Right. No, but like, yeah. No, it's just very good to be in here and know, like, as last year I just was part of the audience, and it was very nice that just be able to live the whole experience and just build connections and relationships and music and exchange, and just to be open to accept like the different skills and stuff that we all have as artists and humans and musicians and everything. That's been beautiful, and I thank Bob for choosing me to be a part of this, and I thank all of you for every teaching moment, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been great to play music, different kinds of music, but I'm thankful for how much we learned about the community and the culture. So learned so much even from Rick's opening little meeting. So thankful to learn all that through playing music together.
Hi, I'm Josh. Just wanted to say thank you guys, everyone involved, for kind of inviting us to learn about your culture and everything. It's just been great to just see kind of how this music is done in this kind of style. It's not really something I'm too familiar with. And it's just been just a great experience, as everyone's kind of saying.
Diana Herrera. I don't know what to say either. It's the things I've learned
sharing with all of you are gonna stay with me for a long time. The music and the way we perceive things and you perceive things and how the different experiences are built and intertwined. It's well, it's something that's gonna be with me hopefully until I am no more. Thank
you. This is my, I guess, second year in this and participating in this, and I'm truly amazed with the talent and the various layers of learning and the various groups of people that come together to put this production on and this whole project. It's more than us and the students. It's the ones that are behind the scenes as well. That's also need to be recognized, and I think that's really important as well too. And just the community that has come out. Like, I'm really appreciative that there's so much support for this project, and I hope that it continues, because this is a fantastic way of learning and teaching and learning from each other, and that that we can continue to grow in a relationship between not just, well, between Mohawk College and the people and the students, as well as our community here at Six Nations. So, yeah, to everybody, and to Rick and to Bob and to Sadie and to Nicole and to the women singers and all the students. It was an honor to, and even the students behind the scenes. It was truly an honor to work with you all. You know.
What she said.
That's my line.
I just want to thank everyone for all their hard work, and the students. It's the first time I've heard you guys, and your music was great. It almost put me to sleep. It was just it was so relaxing. But I know the work that goes on behind the scenes, and you guys did a tremendous job. And just now to everyone for participating and for being here.
Scana, Sue Isaacs. I guess I was one of the youngest members of the Six Nations Women Singers until I brought my niece in. And she's learning now, and I wanted to make sure she learned as much as she could. As to, I think we need to take more, pay more attention into our young ones, and bring them up with the best of this. We also, my family also travel, and we do dance shows, so we travel all over and we take them with us, and they learn. So we've been doing that for years, since my dad's been, since he's been gone. In 2000 he passed away. My sister and I continue that. So there's times that we travel all over, like Sadie said, there's a story to everything we do. Every time we do a performance, if we gotta go sing somewhere, we do this, we do, there's a memory, there's a laugh. Laughter is the best medicine you can put into anything. Song is another medicine. You're feeling blue, you're feeling down, you just pick up a song and sing it. And I'm so proud of these ladies for taking that, that solo. I'm like, oh my God, they do have a voice, they do sing. Because, I'm a second lead singer to Sadie, so I've always been able to lead and do that. So now I know they can do it too. And singing that song that when we were in Banff and sang that brought a lot of memories back. So I'm glad you chose that, because we had so many memories together as a group. Like I said, she said, some of our stories are unbelievable stories. My favorite story is with Pat. And I'm going to tell you this one. We were in Banff and we were in the hot tub. As you see, she's got in the hot springs, in Banff. As you see, she's got long, beautiful hair. So it was something, you know, we were all enjoying it, and it was snowing, so it made it really, really beautiful as we were doing that. So then we were swimming along, Pat's beside me, you know, and we're going along. All of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, oh, oh!" And I was like, "Pat, what's wrong? What's wrong?" Oh, never mind, it's my hair. She thought it was a snake floating on top of the water. Around come her pulling her braid. She's like, "Oh, what's going on?" So that was one of the things there. And for me, we were in Phoenix. I think it was Phoenix, right? Anyway, we were there one time too, and we were getting ready to go on and waiting for our show. So then we decided to get a group picture. So I sat on a rock thinking nothing, and I leaned back, and oh my God, I was like, I got the cactuses in my back. So my nickname for the group was Cactus Bat. So like the stories are amazing. Our experiences together are just, you know, unstoppable laughs. Everywhere we go, people will say, the laughing ladies, the laughing ladies. So I had to stay with those cactus pieces in my back through the whole night, the whole show, everything we did until we got back to the room, and they all came in with tweezers and they're picking them out because they were like the hooks, like fish hook things. So they were all in there. There we are, you know. Somebody had a video for that. But it is laughter, singing, you know, dancing. Everything always brings people together. But our favorite is when we eat. And no matter what we do, like as a group, we also have potluck nights, you know, where we all bring something to eat. So that keeps us all together in a good mind, good hearts. When somebody needs that assistance or whatever, you know, we're all there for each other. And to me, that's the important part of being Native, of being this and sharing. We're in a part now of sharing and educating, and that's what we need. This is what we've lost in our world. And as you know, as Indigenous people, we're all going through struggles right now too, you know, with all what's going on. And it's sad that, you know, come to think of things that we're all going through like that. But I mean, this, you know, all of us together, making music together, and I'm so proud of these students. And I just wanted to say, I just love Sebastian's voice here. Like he makes that deep voice, and I said, dang, if him and Sadie could get that. I'm thinking, you know, with her voice and, you know, a hum, but oh my God, he'd be like, you know, okay, you practice that. And you come back. So I'm very proud of her. And the other thing was, I was very, when we started this, is Deanna and Sky. I was sitting there and I was going, what? Because that's my mom's name. My mom's name is Deanna Sky. So this just made this whole group thing, you know, even more special. So when Teeny came in that night, she started and they introduced, you know, their names, and she's like, what? I said, oh yeah, their names are Deanna and Sky. I said, not together, just Deanna and Sky. So it was good. It was a good thing, and I'm glad she was able to experience that with us too, and make those memories. So nyawa for everything, and nyawa for this great day, and I had fun, and I just hope we can all continue to be in a good way, good mind, good heart, everything. We have to stay together. We have to stay together and think together positively and continue. So nyawa.
My name is Betsy Buck. I'm the youngest sister of her. I've been singing a long time, but we didn't always sing together. So no interrupting. We hadn't always sang together. I was in the younger group. She was in the older group with our other sister, and I was in another group with a sister just older than me. We all sang, like, we'd be Suey's age and my age. We all sang, and then, so I haven't been singing for 60 years because I'm not 60 till December. But I have been singing, and I do know a lot of songs, but I haven't actually sang in a few years. Well, for COVID, for one thing, I caught COVID like 3 times. And then, so I'd get better, and then I'd go out in public, and I'd get it again. Like, so I don't really come out too much. You guys are, yeah, if one of you guys is sick, I'm going to get it. So I don't go around too much, but today was a really good day, even though I almost fainted at the start. You know, it's very hot in here. But yeah, now, so luego, now that's what those días. It was a darn good day.
My name is Sadie Buck, and when we first started singing when we were little, we sang under the Six Nations Longhouse Singing Society, who were our parents and our grandparents when we first started singing. And when we started singing, we started out with men, boys and girls. And so I wasn't the lead. I wasn't the lead at that time. And then the boys start changing their voices. And they're not allowed to sing so much when they change their voices because that alters their throat. So they only do it if they absolutely have to, like in ceremony or something like that. But, so we went on, and they went on, changed their voices, and then went into the men's group. But we went on as little girls, and we started singing. And so the lead singers at that time were my cousin Margaret Key and myself. And we started singing. And that's when I became the lead singer. Because then I kept on going, because Margaret, she still sings, but she doesn't sing in any formal capacity now. But when I was learning how to drum, I was very, I wanted to sing, and when you use a rattle, when you use the rattles, you have to be really, really sharp on your leg, like, because our music is all for dancing. So if you have that rattle, you're hitting your leg or your hand really hard. And I was a little kid, and I would come home and I'd have a bruise on my leg, or my hand would be really sore from using that rattle. And we had to, my dad and my grandfather, there was no way you could.
That had to stand up straight when you got to stand up.
Yeah, you just, whatever they said, that was it. So we had to do that. We couldn't not. Anyways, so me, in my brain, I was like, oh, well, if I drum, I'm not going to bruise my leg. I ain't going to bruise my hand if I drum. 68 years later. But so I totally learned how to drum because I didn't want to be beat up at the end of it. It was like a totally selfish reason. So I started trying to learn how to drum, and I cannot imagine what my parents went through while I was trying to learn how to do that drum. And because it was my dad and my grandfather's drum, I could not abuse it in any way. So I had to be real tiny and trying to make sure I hit the sweet spot, and I had to really work at it, hold it, and I eventually started getting it. And then one day I was in a living room, and I was trying to sing. I was probably about maybe seven years old, and I was trying to drum. And my dad walked through from the kitchen to the bedroom, and he walked through. And all he did, I was trying to drum, and all he did was he turned my hand. He stopped, and he turned my hand like 1/4 of an inch. That's all he did. And from that moment on, I could drum. From that moment, that's all he did. He didn't say nothing to me. He didn't do anything else. That's all he did was turn my hand. And I went, holy shit. I didn't say holy shit when I was 6. But I was blown away by that. And so then I started wanting to really, really lead and really, really learn songs and stuff, because then I could drum. So I started doing that. And then I realized, after doing this for a while, I suddenly realized that, oh my God, there's so much responsibility in this leading thing. Why did I want to do it? But then I was stuck. Because then, once you learn something, a long time ago, the way we used to do it here in our community for us, is once you learn something, the old people would watch you. And then once you learn to a certain point, then they would start teaching you. They would wait, they would watch you until you got to that point. Because then they knew that you knew what you were thinking about. They knew what you were thinking. They knew that you were ready to take that responsibility. Because for us, everything is a responsibility. So then they said, I'm like 7, 8 years old. They said, I guess she can drum. And then they said, okay, we'll start teaching her now. And so that's when, and then it wasn't even I don't even know what you call it. It was a formal education for us. But the old guys would come together and they'd sit in our kitchen, and I would sit in the living room, watch TV or whatever. But I could hear them talking, and I could hear them, these old guys, and they would talk about how the water in the room works with the water drum and your voice. And I could hear them talking about this. So what they were doing was they were teaching me this stuff without me even knowing, or without me having to sit there and say, oh, okay. So then when I went to ask a question, it was a legitimate question on a master level. And so that's how come I started sitting with those old guys, singers. And I could say to them, okay, what about this? And they would answer me, because they knew that I was at that level. So I've been very, very lucky. The Creator gave me this gift of being able to sing. Even though I started in it the wrong way, I started arrogantly thinking I wanted to be the lead. I learned right away. And then because I was willing to accept the responsibility of being a lead singer, then that's when they start teaching me. And so that little twist in my hand like that, when I all of a sudden got that, and that was unspoken. I got that, and then all this whole world opened up to me. And I was like, oh, okay, I can hear that. I can see that. I can feel that. All of a sudden. And that's when I could go and sit with those old guys and say, when you do that, whatever, when you do that, what about this? What do you do that? And my mom, she used to get sick of it. She'd say, oh, why do you always have to know why? That's what my mom used to say. But I made a mistake too. I still had some arrogance. I mean, I was like 7 years old. I said, I don't know, Mom, why do you think? That did not go over well. So I really, in my evolution to be a lead singer, I really have studied it. I studied how the drum works, I studied how the rattle works, and I studied how to make my voice work in any room. And so, like, when, as the Six Nations Women Singers, we get a contract someplace to go and sing. And we show up there and we sing. No matter where we are, no matter what happens, we sing. Because we get paid to donate that money to our community. So we've had situations. We were performing way down in the United States near Hunter Mountain, way down that way, and one of the performers would not go on, and this performer was one of the big shots, and that performer would not go on if we were going to go on the same stage with her. She said, nope, if they're on that stage, I'm not performing. So, being the organizers, they said, okay. So they moved the Six Nations Women Singers way over there by the toilets on a little wingy stage about 12 feet, all bent up, weeds, and they wanted us to perform on that stage. And they were so sorry. That woman was she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And to me, we sang because our goal isn't to be sitting on a stage and being the best performer in the world. Our goal is to sing and raise money for our community. So it doesn't matter to us. If you're in it that's our reason for singing, to sing for the people. And that's what we were doing. So it didn't matter that we were on that stage. And when we sang, the audience that was way over there, they got up and they came right over there. So it didn't make no difference. So when you're singing, your intention is extremely important. And that is ours, as Six Nations Women Singers. It's our job to help the community, to raise money, to help the people out. And that's what we do. So when you look at in the intention of the performers, like these guys right here, that you have to make a commitment to the music. And you have to sing to the very best of your ability. So as the Six Nations Women Singers, that's what we've done for the 50 some odd years, 60 years we've been performing together. That's the work we do. We keep doing this and we keep working at it. And I'm assuming that we'll work at it until all these younger ones are standing here in our place. So, and then it'll go on and on and on. Because it went on to us. I'm 68 years old. My grandfather sang and he's gone on. My dad sang, my mom said, they've all gone on and we're still doing it. So now we're trying to bring in the next ones and for them to keep on doing it. Because it's the intention of the work that's important, the functionality of the work that's important. And we're just doing it by singing. So you have to make a commitment. You have to make a commitment to anything that you do. Even if it's singing, if it's anything, your music, your keyboards, whatever, your guitar, bass, whatever, you make a commitment to that. And you've got to look at what is best. You've got to put your ego aside and look at what is best for that particular, even in a band. If you're ever in a band somewhere or singing, you have to put, your commitment has to be for the betterment of that music so it's tight. And that's when you get the feelings in the audience. And that's when your music is good. So you gotta always make a commitment, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. When you're in there to sing, don't be in there saying, oh, well, I want my song to be the one they're gonna sing. I want my song to be I want to do the lead, whatever. Although I do always make a joke and say, don't step on my lead. And some of them do, some of them try.
And they just did tonight.
So, but, that's all jokes to me because I can take back the lead anytime I want. So, but that's my words of encouragement for Deanna Sky, for Josh, all of them, Remy, all of them, these guys, is just make a commitment to the music. Think what's best for the music, because what's best for the music is what's best for the people. So now
Hi, I'm Allie. First, I just want to say, where's Rick? Thank you, Rick, for everything. If it wasn't for Rick, I wouldn't have even known about this organization. Thank you to Bob, because Bob automatically just welcomed me in, and even though he was a little bit confused about what I was doing in these sessions in the first place, he was like, all right, yeah, just come on in. And I'm very, very happy that I was welcomed, because although I didn't really have much to do there, I'm not a musician or anything, I enjoy being in these types of environments. I enjoy learning, and especially what I have learned with you guys, I can take that and apply it to life, for how I perceive it and how I do things with how you guys talk about music and you teach about music. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm also very passionate about learning more on Indigenous cultures and I feel like now I finally understand the mission, and anything that I can do to assist in helping and learning and growing, I will. So I'm very grateful for this moment, and I think I was very excited for this. I had nothing to do with this, but I was very excited. You know, I felt like a kid on Christmas when you can't sleep the night before. Every single session, this would bring me joy, just coming and just sitting there and watching you guys. I really enjoyed it. Sadie, you're a very, very funny woman. I enjoy your jokes.
Yeah, we laugh at her all the time.
And I can't believe, you know, I'm not a shy person or anything. If you know me, you know I really like to talk. At first I was a little bit shy. I was like, how do I approach things? And Bob was like, go talk to Sadie. Just go talk to her. So I did. And I was a personal assistant today. That was the most exciting job for me.
For all of us, right?
Yeah. Finally.
She's way better at it than this. Thank you.
But anyways, thank you, Miigwech. I'm very grateful, and I've learned a lot, and I will definitely invest in coming again next year if this goes on again. Taking singing lessons with you, not that I can sing, but I just want to be in your presence. And yeah, if you guys ever need me, I'm always here.
I'm Sky. In case that wasn't mentioned. Just Sky, Dana Sky. But I'm very grateful to be here. Moving to Hamilton, I'm about 2 hours away from my family, so this has been a really important sense of community to me since I've been away from home. This has really felt like the closest thing I've had to family and friends and community since moving away. I think I've learned a lot from both Sadie and the Six Nations women singers and Nicole. Learned one thing that Sadie said that really stuck with me was just that when music comes in you, that it stays with you your whole life. And I think this experience in general will stay with me my whole life. I've learned a lot about what being a lead singer and being a musician means, how it means to take care of the people in the room, and that's something, just like the ideas about music in here in general, but especially that has changed my perspective a lot about, rather than looking at music as something I have to be perfect at or be like a good singer or whatever. It's about the community, and it's about what the music means, and yeah, so that's been a really important lesson to me, I think, and I'll definitely carry that with me. So thank you all for teaching me and having me here. I've learned so much, and I hope that I can carry that with me for the rest of my life and do good things with it.
Thank you. My name is Kimberly, and I'm a third-year journalism student, and this is my second time being involved with this initiative, and I'm very honored to Rick and everybody, thank you so much for having me involved yet again. Last year, this initiative really changed a lot of things in my life as far as my perspective and how I communicate with people and how I go about my everyday life, and just how I engage with music, and knowing that it was always a big part of my life too, and having distanced myself for a long time. It was so nice to kind of get back into it, and it was really because of this initiative, and it's such a special thing to be a part of. And so even though this year I wasn't as involved as I was last year, just due to work and school and life being wild, it was still so amazing to come here, and it was interesting having like a different kind of like point of view, and still kind of being involved but out as well, and like seeing things and hearing all the different songs that I hadn't heard before up to this point. So it was still just that moment of being like, I'm involved and I know what's happening, but I still felt like almost a stranger to it, which is still very special, because no matter what, you still like hit me right in the heart, right? And like that's how you know, for me, like I didn't need to be involved to understand like how special it really was. And I'm very grateful that I got to be a part of it and just learn from everybody and hear these stories. And you all are all so talented. I'm so excited for all of you, and it's like a big hug for all of you, because you really are. It's such a special opportunity, and I look forward for everybody to be able to kind of carry this with them for the rest of their lives. Like, I get to carry this with me in my daily life. That's me. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone? 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 Bob?
I'd like to start thanking all of the students here, Mohawk College students from all the different programs. Crew, our live stream crew, our journalism students, our music students. And I'd especially like to thank you for your openness and your trust in this process for this initiative. So what I mean is that I didn't tell you what was going to happen. I said, you're in this ensemble, and we're going to make some music with Indigenous musicians, and you'll learn as you go. And, you know, when you present students that you're still learning about, that opportunity, you know as an educator how valuable that is, but you're also worried about your students being nervous and being worried about going into unknown territories, right? And you know, so I'm like touching base with you guys and be like, hey, how's everything going? You know, just checking in and making sure that everybody's feeling comfortable and feels like they have a place here, you know, in this initiative. There's a place for them not to just feel accepted, but to feel like their voice is included, impactful, contributed. That's the word. So, yeah, like, sure, I'm really thankful to my students for that openness and trust in this initiative. The heart and the heart that you brought to what you brought to the initiative, but also that, like Sky mentioned, you learned, right? The learning moments that you take with you. I'm really grateful for that. And you mentioned these moments. I said, I can see the difference to me in this work. You're taking things from this and all our Indigenous artists, women singers, and Nicole. You're the rookie here this year. Yeah, but thank you so much for your wisdom, for your sense of humor, for grilling me on all my terrible snacks, except for the ones I made myself from scratch. I thought I did a good job there. Even watched the video to prove it. And Nicole, I love your storytelling. I love your life. I love the way you're so open to your students and parents. And you're recreating the culture and that process and your identity. And just, and I think that was really a source, very teaching learning voice there for long we carried everybody who's in those sessions. So thank you for that. And Sadie, although I can't see you there, and I think of you as almost our leader here. I don't know, to me, you're our leader here. And you're the person for the wisdom and humor to always remind. Sometimes I get too serious about this, especially when it comes to reconciliation and being a settler and wanting to do good work. I forget that, I get so serious and committed to it, and I forget that I can laugh along the way. Right? You remind me of things.
Does anybody else have thoughts? Like, oh. So I didn't take that.
So this guy sitting beside me, I forgot he's sitting there because he was looking over this way. Right. I just want to Rick was, for those who don't know, is a musician. He's also has his own consulting firm. He's a business guy. You know, sort of the antithesis of everything that would be attracted to a human being, except for the music. But we end up being really good friends because we care about the same things. And I think, oh, you can't judge the world. It's not being okay. And that would be culture about it. Yeah, so then I just want to say thanks for teaching, continuing to teach me. Like countless lessons. Like there's been times I've called Ray, emailed Ray, Zoomed Ray. We got to get together and question thing, whether it's wording in an email, what I should do, just thing, when am I getting too heavy or something, all those things that is right force. And we play music together, and we plan on playing more music together. Great, great, and that's what we do. It's really. And not to mention, Joanne McCarthy this year was our first Indigenous advisor last year. And Joanne and I were, I had this crazy idea that something like this might have some value, might work. And, you talk to a lot of people and they go, oh yeah, that's okay. And they dismiss it, right? Because there's no time, there's no money. And I emailed Joanne, and I just said, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to start this. And Joanne, her first email, she was cool, but she was a little bit like, let's check this person out to make sure he's legit. Right? So she was a little bit, she was rightly so. But then after about 2 or 3 emails, we were inseparable partners on a mission, right? And we went to see our pants the whole time. We didn't know what was coming every week. We had no budget. We got the budget later. We just said, if we start this, then they can't say no. We've already started it. And then they have to give us a budget, right?
Yeah.
That's what we did. And it worked.
And every time I got in trouble, I sent the phone to you or the email to you. It's not me getting in trouble.
Yeah, so Joanne, thank you. Your fingerprints were all over this initiative to this day, and going forward. And the wisdom that you brought to this initiative is still appreciated. And Joanne, we're working towards bringing Joanne back in the picture, the Six Nations Polytechnic, and even have a music class, music program, right? Because you are STEAM, not just STEM, which is unheard of in Eurocentric. But like that's, so we're going to do some work. So we plan on growing these things. Asking for time to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, so I am overjoyed. Like, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm overjoyed that this is still happening, Bob. You're amazing to put the gas on and keep this going forward. I know how hard it is to get acts of reconciliation in mainstream education. So this initiative started at the time where they were recovering a lot of the bodies of our ancestors at residential schools. And then they had announced that they were having the very first day of Truth and Reconciliation. And I was in a position at Mohawk College where I was an Indigenous consultant, and I was being bombarded with requests to do public speaking about the trauma when I was still trying to digest it myself. And I was like, this does not feel like reconciliation. I have to get out of this line of work. And then Bob emailed me with this idea. And I was like, see, why aren't we having, but I didn't know Bob, and I had to get to know him before I trusted him, because I was constantly meeting these people who wanted to take stuff from my soul, from, you know, my family's experience, my family's trauma, my community's trauma. They wanted to take, and then showcase it, and then I was left feeling empty. And so I had to make sure that Bob wasn't going to do that. And I knew in the first 2 meetings that he was genuine, and his intention was to do true reconciliation. And he didn't know, he had the idea, but he didn't know really how to do it. So he asked, and he listened, and we had many conversations, and he listened every time about how he could bring reconciliation to the community our way, not the way that it was conventionally being done. And it is through creating something together that is reciprocal, that is beautiful, that comes from the soul, that connects us emotionally to each other. That's how we heal, right? And so this is what I love about this event, and I'm so absolutely overjoyed that it's still running, and to see people even coming back, like you're gonna come back next year, I know.
Me?
And Kimberly and Cal and all the Six Nations women singers, like, oh, this is so amazing for me to see that this is we know that we're creating good feelings and good healing, and we're really in action and reconciliation when people are saying, yeah, I'm gonna come back to that, right? So Yahweh, from the bottom of my heart, for all of you guys for coming, and for all of your hard work and participation. This is a really beautiful thing. Music is medicine. It really is.
I'd just like to be able to say thank you to everybody. But I'd like to say something to the students. And I'd like to, you know, we talk about reconciliation. We talk about being reciprocal. So reciprocal means you can't have one and done. Okay, you know what? So my challenge to you is exchange a phone number, exchange an email with somebody from this territory, from this nation here, and stay in touch. And learn. Al, you can't get rid of Al, she's gonna be here. But, like, you know, we talk about when we do these things that we're supposed to be family, right? Well, what does family do? You don't, you know, there's families that, yeah, I just see you at Christmas, and then there's families that got love, and we get together and we laugh, and we support each other, right? So that's my challenge to you as students, you know, is you keep this going, not because it's a program, not because if you keep this going because it's the right thing to do, this is how we're gonna fix it, all right? Because when we all see each other as beautiful creations, you know, beautiful creations that all have a gift, and we bring that love. So I just want to say Yawakoa and bewitch to everybody. And I think, do we have a couple of things that we're supposed to be giving away there, Carol?
Bob?
I can hold it for you.
Yay. That might still up my job.
is it a?
OPAT, I believe.
Yeah, somebody put it down somewhere. Someone will take it.
You see Bonnie first?
Who?
You see OPAT? I mean, that's Bonnie, you see Bonnie all the time.
And Tanya, oh, okay, Tanya's down here, that's why. Here, I'll.
Okay, well, everyone, on that note, I'd like to say a final thank you for everyone that did so much hard work to support this initiative, for everyone that attended today's board and to learn about this initiative. And we hope that we'll be able to see you all next year as this initiative grows. Free to